Oh, boy. Here with Reaction Podcast host Monica Crowley and Erin Maguire from Axiom Strategies. Monica, we should feel bad for the Justice Department. It's just so toxic. And how do they deal and how do they work in this environment?
Yeah, I mean, to watch Lisa Monaco make those comments, Pete, is really something to behold. Lisa Monaco is the Deputy Attorney General right now under Merrick Garland, the most radical, activist, left-wing Attorney General we have ever had. She also, by the way, was a top lawyer in the Obama Justice Department. So she has had her hands in this weaponization and politicizing of the Justice Department and the law for a very long time. You know, there's spin, which every administration does, Pete, and then there's outright gaslighting and lying. This administration has weaponized government to the nth degree. You know, the left started this long march through the institutions decades ago, so it didn't start with Lisa Monaco and Obama and Biden. This has been going on a long time, but the absolute corruption we are now seeing against all of the regime's enemies. You mentioned Trump and Musk. They're two of the most prominent targets, but we're talking about average Americans, from the nonviolent January 6th defendants to Catholic churchgoers to parents showing up at school board meetings. Lisa Monaco, Merrick Garland, and Joe Biden are the ones directing and weaponizing the law against the average American because they happen to think the wrong way. This is totalitarianism. It's tyranny. We are no longer in a constitutional republic.
Well, and Erin, to Monica's point, if they can go after the presumptive Republican nominee, if they can go after the richest man in the world for simply speaking truth or wanting to have a free speech platform, then why wouldn't they go after any political opponent that's a threat to their groupthink, to their institutional power?
Well, unfortunately, the federal government has gone against those that they believe have a political ideological difference from them. Let's not forget Lois Lerner at the IRS targeting conservatives. To Monica's point about the Department of Justice targeting parents at school board meetings. This is not anything new, unfortunately, for the federal government. And here's the real kicker a lot of times that the American people forget. It is our taxpayer dollars that are allowing for the targeting and the funding to happen for these institutions and these federal agencies to continue to target the American people. Conservatives in Congress have a serious job to do, especially in the House, to make sure that there is oversight, that we are making sure we are holding people to account. Investigations and oversight are the duty of Congress, and we only have the House at this point. This is why elections have consequences and matter deeply. The American people, if anybody can be targeted, the former president, the richest man in the world, or a parent at a school board meeting, it is our job to elect officials who will stand up and say enough is enough. We will no longer allow the federal government and the swamp to target the American people in a way because they have political differences.
Monica, can this system be de-weaponized, or is it too far gone?
You know, that is the perpetual question, Pete, right? And I ask it all the time on my podcast to all of my guests who are steeped in this. Can the system be reformed, or does it need to be razed to the ground? I think the corruption is so deep and the weaponization is so extreme, and this kind of left-wing influence, this kind of tyrannical execution of the law against political opponents. You know, people say, Pete, that this is a banana republic. It's actually worse than that. Because in a banana republic, you don't have a long history of due process and the rule of law and the equal application of the law like we have had here for over 200 years. So we should know better. And still, the system has been weaponized. So this is worse than a banana republic. And to my mind, I think all of these institutions, starting with the DOJ and the FBI, so many other institutions, the security state, the CIA, the NSA, the rest of it that's been weaponized, needs to be taken down, dismantled, and start all over again if we're going to have any hope of saving this country.
It's such a good point. Banana republics, they don't have to keep the pretense, but these deep staters keep the pretense up of equal justice and then manipulate our faith in the system to do whatever they want. We have to leave it right there, unfortunately. Monica and Erin, thank you so much for your time.